by the Nefesh HaBahamis, the Shvur of, not by Nefesh HaBahamis, the Shvur that the Nefesh Helakis is given before it descends down here into this world. And this Shvur empowers the Nefesh Helakis to be able to overcome the Nefesh HaBahamis, even though the Nefesh HaBahamis is from the world of Tayu, and since it's from the world of Tayu, which is higher than Tikkun, so therefore it seemingly has something more and greater, more powerful than the Nefesh Elokis. Still in all, we say that the Shvuah, being that reaches very, very deep, so because of that level of how deep it reaches, it is able to overpower and overcome the Nefesh HaBahamis. And that's the idea that we make it swear, Sur Merav, Asay Toiv, etc. Okay, so let us continue on the bottom of page Tes, Ois Hey. V'hinei, Medayik HaTzemach Tzedek, Masha Amru, Oisai, Masha Amru, Bashbin, Oisti Tzaddik. Tzemach Tzedek is Medayik, what it says, that they make him swear to be a tzaddik. So he says, and Tzemach Tzedek asks the following question. This is the diuk that the Tzemach Tzedek has, the following issue. And the problem is, when you make a shvuah, you need to be able to make it only on something that you have present, you have a capability over, you have a connection with. Something that you don't have an association with, it's not possible to make a shvuah. He says, how does it help for the neshama to make a shvuah for something that's not part and not something within his being, within his control, etc. So he goes on to explain, it's something that's not in the possession, not in the control of the Nefesh Elokis. And there's a rule, a person cannot give something over, cannot give over possession of something that's not in his possession. So in a similar vein, a person cannot go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to give Hashem control of my Nefesh HaBahamis. Nefesh HaBahamis is not in my control. I'm going to give Hashem control of the body. I don't have the body's control. The Nefesh HaBahamis has a say about the body. So therefore, being that that's the case, how does the Shvuah help for the Nefesh HaBahamis and the Guf? The fact that they make him swear to be a tzaddik, the Chazal derived from what it says, Ki tichra kol berach tishava kol lashon. To me will kneel every knee and will swear an oath every tongue. Ki tichra kol berach ze yom hamisa. And kneel every knee, will bend every knee. That's going on the time of death, because there's a pasuk that he brings out the side in the beer. It says l'fan of yichru kol yerdei offer. Whoever descends into the earth, which is referring to the time of death, they will kneel before me. Tishava kol lashon ze yom haleda. That every tongue will swear to me an oath of loyalty and so on. That is the day of birth, like it says about the Niki Chapayim of our Leiva of Leinosla Shom Nafshi of Leidishpal Mirma, that it's talking about the oath when he's still pure, meaning when he's still born. So we see that's the second half of the pasuk. It says Tishava Kol Loshin. What oath does a baby take? What oath does a person take when he is Niki Chapayim of our Leva? What oath does he take when he's first being born? That is the shvuah, that a person should be a tzaddik and not be a rasha. He says, Vascholas kosav zem, and the beginning of this pasuk is Bi Nishbati, that in me, I have sworn, the Bi Koyal Atik Haniskar El, like it says earlier in the Maimer, we said that the level of B is going on Atik Yoimin. So the fact that every tongue will swear comes as a continuation to, in me I will have the shvuah, who kiba shvuah shemashbir noiseti tzadik, because with that oath that they make a person swear that you should be a tzaddik, nimshach koyach b'chiras binishbati, comes down power from the level binishbati. In other words, from the level of Atik is manifest in that shvuah itself. He's adding a little bit of a nuance over here. Not just that a shvuah is something that brings down for, let's say, later, or taps in to the level of Atik, but at the time of the shvuah, we are drawing down the level of Atik. And because we are drawing down with the level of Atik, therefore, therefore the neshama has the capability to overcome and to deal and to rule over the nafsha b'hamis. Still, there's seems to be like a little bit of a few pieces missing. Why does it help that it's coming from the level of Atik? Just because it's higher? There must be something about Atik that, or higher than, say, the Rishtalshlus, that enables this to take place. So this is what the Rebbe is going to explain. Shloimar, line 10, we could say, Da'abir, Eich Mahani Ashvual HaNeshama Ala Guf Nefesh Ba'amis, how does it help the oath for the Neshama to help over the body and the animal soul? Which is a davar she'ein b'shus, like we said before, it's not something in his domain, his control, etc. Ukimitzad hadarga the Bi Nishbati, because of the level of Bi Nishbati, which Bi Nishbati goes on the level of Atik. Gam haguf nefesh b'hamis him b'reshus haneshama. Also, the body and the animal soul are in the possession of, in the domain and the control of the neshama. How is that so? So the Rebbe goes on to explain the b'chinas hagiluyim and the levels of revelation. Haneshama v'aguf nefesh b'hamis im shneim yon. The neshama, the body and the animal soul, in other words, the neshama on one side and the body and the animal soul are two distinct things. When you're talking about revealed aspects of Elokus, the shoyresh haneshama b'tikun, the root of the neshama is in the world of tikun. V'shoyresh haguf nefesh b'hamis b'tayu, and the root of the neshama, the body and the nefesh b'hamis is in the world of tayu. And therefore, first of all, comes a struggle over here: who's going to overcome whom? But also, they're completely separate, and it's not possible to make the Nefesh Elokis swear for something that's in the domain of Nefesh B'hamis. When it comes to the infinite light of Hashem, that's beyond the worlds of Tayu and Tikkun, since the initial intention in the building and the destruction of Tayu was Sheyiyah Birur Tayu. It should be the refining of Tayu. In other words, why did Hashem make such a world that's going to fall apart? We know the Eibishter created a world. He created the worlds, destroyed them. That's going on the world of Tayu, when he built a world that was called built-in obsolescence. The world would fall apart. There would be Shviras HaKelim. What's the purpose of it? The purpose of it is that through that Tayu would become refined, which the world of Tayu is the shoyrish of the Haguf and Nefesh B'hamis. So Tayu becomes refined through us refining the Guf and the body and the animal soul. And how is Tayu become refined? Idea Tikkun, through Tikkun, which is shoyrish Nefesh Elokis, which is the root of the Nefesh Elokis. That means that really the Nefesh Elokis and Nefesh B'hamis have really at their source a relationship and an interconnectedness. Therefore, l'chein de gilu yourself through the revelation of the infinite light of Hashem. Gamma guf nefesh habahamis nasim b'rishus neshama. Also, the body and the animal soul are something that enter into the domain of the neshama. Ki kavonas yisavusam milchatchila ish yizbaru adei neshama. Because the intention of their creation initially is that they should become refined through the neshama. So since the nefesh habahamis, and as an extension of Toyu, was initially brought into being to be refined by Tikkun, therefore, that is the reason that it's possible for the Nefesh Elokis, when it taps into that source, when it taps into the level of Bin Nishbati, it taps into the Eid itself that sees the purpose in Tayu and sees the purpose in Nefesh HaBahamis, to give the Nefesh Elokis the koyach to swear about something that is in truth really under its control. So now the Rebbe goes on to say in line 25, Yesh loymar sha'achiluk bein shneiha in Yoner Mashbi Noisei. The difference between the two ideas of making him swear, Mashbiim Meloshe Shvuah, making him swear from the expression of an oath, Mashbiim Meloshe Soiva, and making him swear from the word satiating, satisfying, that we're satisfying the Nefesh Elokis. Though we connected them, we said that making the Nefesh Elokis swear satiates him and fills him up like food fills him up. What we say about mashbiim from the expression of an oath, that is drawing down the root of the neshama. Mashbiim l'shoin soiva, and mashbiim from the word satisfying, satiating. That's that this level of shvuah should come down, be drawn down in a revealed way in the neshama, the way it is coming down already, including the neshama, the way it's enclosed in the body and the animal soul. Practically speaking, when the neshama is first given the shvuah, that's before it descends into this world. That's where it's given a shvuah. It's given a shvuah in the spiritual realms. So just the shvuah only speaks about the neshama the way it is in a pristine environment. Shvuah from the word soiva, satisfaction, is referring to the neshama the way it comes down into the body down here. How come? Why is it indicated in the word svia, satisfaction, satiating? So he says in the last line, bedugma svia kipshuta, similar to a satisfaction in the literal sense. That the food satisfies and satiates the person, top of page Yud Aleph. That's what it means. They make him swear from the word satisfaction. This is an empowerment. Like it's explained in many places. Through the hamshacha of this oath comes down revealed in the soul and the body. That indicates that the actual person down here is satisfied with it. It has the capability to overcome the animal soul, like was mentioned before in the 4th paragraph. And not only is it able to overcome and overrule the Nefesh HaBahamis and veto the Nefesh HaBahamis, but even more so, it can refine the Nefesh HaBahamis. Like mentioned before in the previous paragraph, for this sake it descended down here below. Like it's explained in Tanya, the ultimate purpose in the descent of the neshama coming down here below is loy b'shvil neshama, is not for the neshama's sake, to refine the body and the animal soul and his portion in the world. So the Rebbe goes on line 12. Yesh l'kasher zein mashu kosvat tzemach tzedek. We can connect this with what the Tzemach Tzedek wrote. The Shvuah hi bebina u'biyisoid u'malchus. The idea of Shvuah has to do with these different spheres. He brings from Kabbalah that there's a level of Shvuah, depending on the context or whatever, that's referring to the level of Bina, a level of Shvuah that has to do with the level of Yisoid, and a level of Shvuah that has to do with Malchus. And he says, the Zeshe Shvuah bebina shayech la Shvuah atzma, hamshachas atik. The fact that Shvuah has to do with Bina, that is because of its connection of drawing down the level of Atik, because, like what Valderach said, Hamshachas shoyresh haneshama, so to the root of the neshama where it's above, the bebina hu gili Atik. In Kabbalah we know that Atik has to do with becoming revealed in the level of Bina. And the Alter Rebbe explains in the Torah that's because when a person has a full understanding of a topic, as Bina does, so then it has a great delight, it has a great enjoyment to it. So Atik, which is tiny, becomes revealed in Bina. Like it says in the pasuk, "V'nar yotzim Eden," that the river goes out from Eden. The Nar hu b'chinas Bina. We know Nahar river is a level of Bina. Chachma is likened to a mayon, to a wellspring. Bina is likened to a raging river. The Eden hu Atik, and Eden is the level of Atik. Eden is the word madanim, enjoyment. That's the level of Tainuk. Tainuk is the level of Atik. Pirish Nar yotzim Eden, and where it says that the river comes out from Eden, who should be Bina hu gili Atik, and Bina is the revelation of Atik. The fact that Shvuah is in the sphere of Malchus has to do with the satisfaction of Shvuah. Just like we said before, that the satisfaction part of Shvuah has to do with the neshama, the way it's in the body. The same thing in the sphere is that sphere that has to do with coming down, the sphere of Malchus, that's the satisfaction aspect of Shvuah. The fact that the Shvuah can give down an empowerment and give an influence the neshama in the body. Because Shvuah's drawing down this into the sphere of Malchus. So we explained Shvuah's association with Bina and Shvuah's association with Malchus. What about Shvuah's association with Yisoid? The fact that Shvuah is in the sphere of Yisoid, who hamshachas habina v'atik sheba b'malchus yadei Yisoid, that the drawing down of Bina and Atik of that's in Bina into Malchus, that's through Yisoid. Yisoid is a level that connects. It's a bond. It joins from the highest, most levels into the Mekabel, into the level of Malchus, the level of the feminine, that's through Yisoid that draws down from the highest, most levels. So that's why Atik essentially needs to come down via Yisoid into Malchus. This is also the connection with the third explanation, the third meaning of Mashbi'in Noisoi Shumelashoin Shevam, that it's from the number 7. The whole time we've been explaining 2 of the 3 explanations. Mashbi'in from the word Shvuah, Mashbi'in from the word satisfaction. But we also mentioned that it's the number 7. What does it have to do with the number 7? The Lafid Bi'erechad Al Yisoid. According to one explanation, this is going on the sphere of Yisoid. How does number 7 go on Yisoid? Usually Malchus is sphere number 7. But he's saying Shu Shvi Ma Bina, it's the 7th sphere from Bina, and Bina's relationship with Malchus comes via the level of sphere Yisoid. So that's the 3 explanations. The level of Shvuah, that is the level of the Bina, the level of satisfaction, that's the level of Malchus, and number 7, meaning in Shvuah, that has to do with the sphere of Yisoid. Any questions before we go on further? We don't have too much time left for this year. Questions? Okay, we're holding on page Yud Beis, line 3, Oizai. Al pi zeh yuven ha-kesher shel ha-shvuah shemashbi'in ois tzadik im chodesh ha-shvi yarchad ha-shvuah so. With this will be understood the connection between the oath that we make, the Yid swear that he'll be a tzaddik with the 7th month, which is also called the month of an oath. The fact that Adam Rishon was created on the 6th day of creation, Yom Harishon d'Chodesh HaShvi, which is the first day of the 7th month. Umepnei shnei time is for 2 reasons. First of all, liyoisei acher l'maaseh bereishis, because he's the back, he is the end, he's the most external part of creation. How is man the most external part of creation? Because the shoyrish hadoim etzumeach hayim b'toyu, because the root of all inanimate things, growing things, and living animals is in the world of toyu. V'shoyrish ha'adam hu metikun shalamata metoyu. And the root of a person is from tikkun that's lower than toyu. So therefore, he was created last in accordance with his latter source, his lower source. And also, another reason why he was created in the 6th final day of creation, he was also created last because he's preceding, meaning Kadum B'Maili is actually higher than everything, and because of that, he was created last. Why, if he's higher, is he created last? Like it's brought down the Gemara, the reason why a person was created at the end, so he should enter the meal immediately. Just like when you make a wedding, the Chazal explained, you prepare everything beforehand, and then you bring in the guests of honor, the chasna and kala. So just because they're last in the whole preparation for the wedding doesn't mean that they're least important. Just the opposite. They're the most important, and that's why you prepare everything. The same thing, the entire creation was created so that when man is created, everything will be ready there for him. This is just the opposite. This indicates the great quality and advantage and level of the person. The entire creation is for the sake of the person. Also the coming into being of the world of Torah that preceded Tikkun. So there should be the refinement of Torah through the person's avodah. Like we said before. That's why on the day of Rosh Hashanah we say this day is the beginning of your doings. It's not the beginning. The world began 6 days earlier on the 25th of El. Although the creation of the world was on the 25th of El. Because the intention, the creation of the world is a person through his avodah. He should make the world into a home for the Eibishter. This began at the day of the creation of a person. The noise was in addition to the fact that the possibility of making a home only began when he was created. Before that, there was no one to make a home for the Eibishter. But not only was it a possibility, but it was also actuality. Nasa Oz King Gamba Poil, this also occurred in actuality. The Adam Rishon, on the day that he was created, he proclaimed to all creations, let us bow down and kneel before Hashem our Maker. And all of them responded and said and proclaimed, Hashem is dressed in kingship. So that's the reason. That's why the 7th month, which the Adam was created in the 7th month, is called the month of the oath. The power and capability that person has to affect and influence the world After Begilia Adam who Ochel Maisa Bereshis, though in a revealed way, the person is the last and the end of creation. Why the Gilui Shorshay Shala Adam? It's through revealing the true being of the person, the true root of the person. What which is Shukadam Lamaisa Bereshis, that he really precedes all the creation, because as we said before, it's Binishvat, comes from Atik or Resav, higher than Toyu and higher than Tikkun. The Gilizah Ashvuak and Iskalel Baruch, this revelation of Adam Rishon's high source is through the oath, like was explained previously at length. The Archa de Shvuasa, that's why it's the month of an oath, because that oath is what makes the Yid be able to do what he has to do in accomplishing in this world.